in on another fantastic Frigga. Yeah, Frigga, not Friday. You understand? And if you all don't know, if you don't know who Frigga is the mother of Thor. And Thor represents Thursday. I'm just saying. Do your research. It's Happy Frigga's Day, not Friday. Fools. Yeah. MOPOWERZ in the building tonight. And before we get started, because we really got some information to share with you, I want you to check out my main channel, THEMOSHOW Chicago, here on YOUTUBE. And if you're into hip-hop, gangster rap, spoken word, independent movies, Chicago street clips, go to my other channel, THEMOSHOW Classics with an S, all one word, no space. Yeah! How y'all doing tonight? Here in Chicago, once again, 20 degrees, okay? Get ready for that snowstorm. Expect 6 to 12 inches in the Windy City. Get those shovels out. Get those wet boots on, and stay warm by all means, because frostbite can happen at any moment. You have people that's standing at the bus stop, people on the train stop, or people that's just standing outside on the CORNER, not knowing that they're getting frostbite. And when it is unthawing, it hurts. So stay warm out there, okay? Stay warm. Because if you don't, you just may freeze to DEATH. And we don't want that to happen, right? Right. But today we're going to freestyle a joint for you all. And it all surrounds racism. Here in America, the big melting pot, where all colors, ethnicities vibe, thrive, or be terrorists. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's going to be a good one tonight. Let's go from niggas to gods. I'm just saying. Yeah. First on the list, you all, is Caitlin Clark. Why Caitlin Clark? Why would I even be speaking about Caitlin Clark? That's not even my MO, okay? That is not my MO. Nope. But it has been brought to my attention, okay? All of these WNBA fans, okay? Even myself, I'm a WNBA fan. Remember Dawn Staley? Remember Lisa Leslie? Yeah, the first professional woman in basketball to ever dunk a basketball. Remember Rebecca Lobo? Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Back in the DAY, and we cannot forget Cheryl Swoops. What you say? It was going down back in the day, WNBA. But Caitlin Clark has become a controversial figure in the WNBA. We're going to kick it off with her, because it all revolves around racism. Here in America, the worldwide thing is a whole totally different story. We'll get to that too. In this VIDEO. Yeah. 5. Power refinement. I'm just saying. But anyway, Caitlin Clark, who's the star for Iowa at one time, what I'm saying, is, banging with numbers, and not only beats the men's records, but the women's records as well. Caitlin Clark, white girl. However, she's been receiving flack from people that is other color in the crayon box, meaning like people that look like me, like the star forward Aja Wilson, yeah, for the Las Vegas Aces. She was having a conversation with another teammate, Kelsey Plum, and said that they basically got in their positions because they was white privileged, not because of talent. I'm just saying. You even had the co-owner of the Washington Mystics and the Washington Wizards, who just happened to be a lady by the name of Sheila Johnson, who made a comment about Caitlin Clark being on Time magazine. In fact, was the first, for my research, was the only WNBA player on Time magazine. She just happens to be a white girl, Caucasian. Let's call it for what it is. Versus putting people in a crayon box. Even the Greek Herodotus, right? Called people by the names from the land of which they were from versus being in the color of a box like John Blumenbach did. Yeah, you know, the great German. Yeah, that guy right there. So anyway, this Caitlin Clark, white girl, Caucasian. I hate using the term white, black, red, yellow, green. We'll get to all those colors in a minute. That young lady is talented. That's a gift from the universe. The talent that Magic Johnson had, the talent that Michael Jordan had, Scottie Pippen, Detlef Schrempf, yeah, from Seattle Supersonics, the white boy, Kurt Rambis from the Lakers, what? John Stockton from Utah Jazz, Hornacek from Utah Jazz, John Paxson from the Chicago Bulls, all white, all got talent that came from the universe and how hard they worked to improve their skill. Has nothing to do with color. How can you put color on physical greatness or physical talents or abilities? You can't. Look at Larry Bird. If you ask me, MOPOWERZ, one of the greatest players that ever played the NBA was who? Larry Bird. We're not going to talk about Jerry West, but that was back in the day. I'm just saying, Larry Bird is a giant in the NBA. So I don't know why females or female sport owners or female coaches, female team players, you know, are trying to make this like some white privileged move, because that's what Aja, what's the name? Aja Wilson said to her teammate Kelsey Plum in regards to herself, meaning Kelsey Plum and Caitlin Clark being white privileged. Men don't discuss issues like that with sports. As in the words of Stephen Curry's, that's petty. That's petty. You know, you had, as some would say, black female players trying to scratch the white basketball superstar players' eyeballs out. Basketball is a dirty game Football is a dirty game, but since we on basketball, we're going to stay on that right now. Just think about the men dirty basketball players in the NBA. Let's start with Bill Laimbeer from the Detroit Pistons. Let's start with Dennis Rodman. And he just happens to be black versus Bill Laimbeer, who is white. And they was doing any and everything to gain a championship, right? They wanted that ring, right? So really it has nothing to do with color. It has something to do with sport itself. It's competitive. But then again, you have Sheila Johnson, who's the co-owner of the Washington Wizards and the Mystics, who is a black woman, by the way, says that Caitlin Clark should not have been on Time magazine representing the WNBA. Damn, give the girl her credit. Give her credit. Okay? Would you have said anything if it was Cheryl Swoops or Lisa Leslie? I'm just saying, Rebecca Lobo is white. Forget the crayon box. Where you from? Historically, we used to call people by the names of where they're from. If you're from Africa, we call you African. If you're from Europe, we call you Europeans. If you're from Spain, we call you Spanish. If you're from Spain, we call you Spanish. So much for the Latinos in America, because they're not Latin. Y'all better stop playing with MOPOWERZ in the building. I just don't understand. Maybe because the white girl had the talent. Maybe because the white girl has broke records in the men and women's division. Just accept that. If you're a woman, because no man in the NBA, NCAA has said anything negative about Caitlin Clark, the white girl. Only women. And some of them, too, from what I see, just happen to be, somebody that looked like me. Racism. Can a black person be a racist? Now you have to understand the term and terminology of racist and racism. How many people know what that means? Because I just had a dictionary fight on what means what. And surprisingly, according to Google, we were both surprised. How about that? Now, in one way I was surprised. I'll get to that in a minute. But what does racism mean? Racism is a form of prejudice. What does prejudice mean? See? A word that means another word. Prejudice. Racism. Racism in its finest form is a section of a people having the ability through social practices, laws, and or ability to do what? Have the influence or direction in which another people should go or be. Like stay in your place. Can black people really be racist? If you all have watched my other videos, or if you haven't, Let me explain this to you one more time. Black people are racist against themselves because they are the only ones who hold themselves back at this TIME. But prior to this time, historically, that has been the case too. Whew. Sad, but true. Black people was having problems among themselves way before the European even showed up. How about that? White people even had slaves that was white people. And they brought those white people over here to the so-called America, which was already here and not discovered by Columbus. I'm just saying. Needless to say, black people that look like me, you know, they put us in the crayon box, but, you know, I've traced my ancestry back, you know, to Mali, the Mali tribe, Al-Kubalan, not after Africanus, which is a white man, by the way. And Africa is after Africanus and not Al-Kubalan. Same thing, just a different name. He who rules, write the rules, okay? He who rules, write the history. He who rules determines sometime in a frame of manner your destination. Racism. What do you think about that? Caitlin Clark got skills. Black people got skills too. Larry Bird got skills. Don't hate on nobody because they got skills. And you should not hate on somebody because of the color of their skin. But however, this is the society in which we are raised in. As I've stated to you that black people are the most hated people on the earth, but yet and still, I'm sitting in the home of white people right now doing this LIVE. I'm just saying. When you have people like that, it's beyond a color barrier or color code. Because we think for ourselves. But then you have racist people in the country like a Ken or a Karen. Could you imagine what they are rearing their kids to be like? To hate black people who are the mother and father of civilization. Think about that. How much disrespect can black people get from the planet? And I don't care what color you are or who you are in the universe on this planet that we call Earth. You all come from black people. Don't argue with me. Argue with science. Don't argue with me. Argue with science. And if you haven't did any research, please by all means do research, because sometimes it makes it very difficult for a person who has done research talking to a person who hasn't done much research at all. It's very difficult at times. Especially if they seem to be biased. Can you have a friend that's biased? Can you have a lady that's biased? Can you have a teammate that's biased? Who feel that there is nothing that white people have ever done wrong. And if they have done wrong, it's very minimal. White men are the #1 terrorists in America. That's not even up for debate. That's not up for debate. Come on, that's like preschool type of shit. That's not up for debate. But if that's who you are, that's who you are. Crazy. Racism in America. Who's the number one hunted on the planet? Black people. Even goes all the way back to Nicholas V. Yeah, the Pope, Nicholas V, like from 1455, something like that. Even he had black slaves, and even he sanctioned the Spanish and the Portugal to continue slavery. Yeah, I know what many of you all are saying. Some of you all sold yourselves out. Yeah, some of us did. All of those chiefs and those who won battles and clans, we had slavery among black people. But we didn't lynch them. We didn't, decapitate them. We didn't make them eunuchs, cutting off their testicles. We didn't rape them. We didn't set them on fire. We didn't put them on posting blocks to be slaves, marketed, directed, beat them to death so they had no more common sense. We didn't do that to one another. That's historically. That's an actual fact. Don't argue with me. Argue with history. Argue with history. Don't argue with me. However, I still love you. I still like you. But don't argue with me. Could you imagine if I took things personally that white friends or white people that I know speak to me? Like I said, I'm sitting right in the home of one right now. And they love me. We just have different views. But historically, not no literature, history. Even the white man says that he's the number one terrorist. Why you want to argue with me? Argue with what the white man says. Since you want to put people in crayon boxes. Don't argue with me. How many of y'all been in prison? No. We're going to get back to this Pope thing. That's a whole nother... We getting there. Yeah, we getting there tonight. If the Pope, who is the number one head of Christianity in the Christian world, according to now, and he says that it was okay to have black slaves and mistreat them, is he representing God or is he representing Satan? I'm just saying. We just dropped another video last night in regards to, is Satan God? Y'all need to check out that video. 100. If the Pope himself, Nicholas V, sanctioned slavery and the mistreatment of black people, has the mind frame of the majority of white people changed? The answer is no. Don't argue with me, argue with Google. Don't argue with me. Argue with Google. Research is the best qualifier of all history, according to Elijah Muhammad. And he was absolutely right. Research is the best qualifier for all history. Even Herodotus, in his writings, can't even contradict. Yeah, the white Greek historian, that is the father of white history, he can't even argue with Elijah Muhammad. They basically somewhat saying the same thing. How about that for racism? Huh? It wasn't about one being in the color, in the crayon box. It was about where you from. And it wasn't until John Blumenbach, made the color code system, not only for Germany, but for America. That's what he did. I'm just saying. So should Caleb Clark be on Time Magazine? Back to the racism, back to Sheila Johnson, back to Audra, what's her name to stop for? Audra Wilson. Would they be wrong or would they be correct? I would say that they're wrong. Talent is talent. And she's not white privileged. She just has talent. And I think that Aja Johnson went to a private school, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm all over the board. You just got to catch me. But I'm in the same atmosphere. Aja Johnson went to a private school. This white girl went to, ordinary school. She just had skills. And from my understanding, she even had offers from colleges in her 7th grade, playing for varsity teams. It's about talent. That's what real people talk about. It's not racism. We talk about what it is versus what you want it to be, or how it is associated in the norm. Because anytime you speak outside the norm, it's a problem. I'm just saying. You see how that goes back to the people selling themselves? To Caitlin Clark, the white privilegedness. Now, white people do have privilege here in America. Just ask the police. Just ask the police. How many white police officers have killed unarmed black men versus black cops who have killed unarmed white men? I'm going all over the board. I'm freestyling this. No particular order. Just have to catch it because it's all in the same realm. How many black cops have killed white people? How many black cops have killed black people? What's there to talk about? What's there to talk about? There's not even up for debate. I'm just saying. Black people call the police being a victim, end up still going to jail. Tell me I'm wrong. They still end up being, the victim going to jail, but they're the victim of the crime as well. For instance, in Muncie, Indiana, he had this white dude. What does he do? He appears to have a hoodie on his head, but later it said that it was a pillowcase. It don't matter, it's a hood. A white hood with the eyeballs cut out. And then had the audacity to call the black police officer a nigger. Isn't that like racism? Should she have not feared for her life at that point? Should she have shot and killed that man in Muncie, Indiana? Was she afraid of losing her job if she shot that white man who appeared to her in the form of a Ku Klux Klan member? I'm just saying. Racism in America, you all. But what did the police officer do? She went and talked to her supervisors that was right inside. And you know what they did? They locked his dumb ass up. And during the court proceedings, he was like, oh, I was talking to the other white people across the street, which possibly implicates that they was racist too. How stupid can you be? People say that racism don't exist or they try to cover it up, Come on. Like I said, white men are the #1 terrorists in America. Not to mention the world, because white supremacy rules the world at this present point in time, over for the past 6,000 years. Don't argue with me. Argue with history. I'm not just pulling this information out my ass. It took decades and decades to research this material. And for one to come who hasn't done any research at all or minimal to tell me that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, it's absolutely crazy. That's when you know it's time to step away. That's when you know it's time to step away. You can't argue with truth. Don't argue with the messenger. Argue with the history. Argue with the facts. Argue with the research. Argue with the information. Don't argue with the person that's presenting the information to you. I'm just saying. Can black people be racist? Yeah, I'm back on that again. Just have to keep up. Black people can be racist, like I said, among themselves, but they have no power to do what to white people? Have any influence over their lives? On paper, politically, economically? Don't have no power. Now, they can be racist in the terms of being prejudiced, of having some type of feelings or emotions against white people because of the mistreatment and the misdeeds that white people have done on this planet Earth, especially among them. Now, white people had slaves too, you know what I'm saying? Before they encountered black people, they had slaves too, and they was Marmadukes, but they couldn't endure. They couldn't endure. So when they found some other people that could endure, would you have done the same? Because black people really was a peaceful people. Even when the Greeks invaded Al-Kubalan through Alexander the Great, he saw the greatness that we had, that they have in Rome. Historically, I'm not pulling this information out my ass. And they wanted that. They couldn't believe that someone who didn't look like them, that they felt was under them, could have done that. And then perpetrated lies in the school history books and in religion. Because all of the angels in Christianity is white. Even God is white. Is that racism? Is that racism? Does that give subliminal messages and power? Even Constantine said, "In hung signal winkins," meaning that with this sign we shall rule. And he was a white man, a European. I'm just saying. Check out the Council of Nicaea. Check out the Council of Ephesus. Check out the Council of Chalcedon. I'm just saying. Read. Knowledge of self. One of the coldest books that I've ever read. One of the coldest books that I've ever read in exposing truth about black people and their own demise was The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. And King Diop, she anti-Diop, I'm sorry. She anti-Diop. Yeah. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about? You need to do some research on that. She anti-Diop and Chancellor Williams. I even go to another coldest book, Black Man of the Nile and His Family by Dr. Ben Joe Connon. Do that. Go into the ISIS Papers by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. I'm just saying. Go in, Message to the Black Man of America by Elijah Muhammad. Go into Herodotus, which is the white Greek historian, the father of Caucasian history. Go into some of his writings. Racism. I'm just saying. Hey, we all have to live here together. I don't care what color you are, even if white supremacy is ruling at this time. The common folks people, the little people like us, have to have some common sense. Could you imagine the algorithm of racism? Could you imagine that? Could you imagine being a racist and teaching your child a racist, or how those children would turn out? Could you imagine how their children would turn out? This is the algorithm of racism, aka conservatism. AKA conservatism. Don't argue with me, argue with the facts. Do your research. Yes, blacks may have played a role in their own self-destruction, which they did. And I can't blame the white man for doing what he did. I can't. We even gave them religion, gave them the Hagia of Sophia, and taught them religion. And they came back, switched up the religion, King James 1611, and fed us some other stuff. However, from what my research is, it was before 1555 versus what Elijah Muhammad said, which was 1555, but I can take it back to 1455 with Pope Nicholas V. Let's check out that guy. Elijah Muhammad was on point, and he dealt with the information that he had, but nothing that he ever said that you can say that he was wrong about. Nothing. Nothing. Racism in America, you all. I'm just saying. Do your research, study. You have to. White privilege. Whites have privilege because they conquered the country. They don't tell you how they got it, though. They don't tell you about all of the torture that they did to millions of people to get it. Don't tell you that. They don't tell you how many people they've raped, how many people they've lynched to get America. They've already did that to us over there in a Kubalam, transporting us across the Atlantic. They've already did that. They was already doing something here before we even got here, even though some of us was already here. Let's get that understood. Could you imagine that transport? The people that was kidnapped. I want you to go to Pope Nicholas V and how he did what? Sanctioned the kidnapping and enslavement of people that's in Africa. The Pope did this, but he represents Jesus Christ. He represents God on earth. But I guess he's doing what God did, which enslaved people. As in my video last night, I had to ask you, is Satan God? I'm just saying. If you haven't checked out that video, go check that video out. Of course, white people are privileged. That's not, come on, that's not even up for debate. Now, you have white people that work every day, work their ass off. They do, and sometimes they work for nothing, just like the average person works for. But they are at the base of white culture and their civilization. They are at the base. If you're not making $250,000 or more, you're poor. And that's according to Barack Obama. I'm not pulling this information out my ass. Even white people know this. But small white people don't know this. Small black people don't know this. The average person don't know this information. I'm just saying. That's not my fault. The information is out there for you. Spend the time how you like to spend it. But yes, white people are white privileged in this country. I don't even have to expound on that. But if you want me to, I can. How many white people are in jail right now in the prison system? You have some white folks say that all of these black people are in prison because of the crimes that they committed. They say that no black person is in prison improperly. God damn, what kind of planet they on right now? I'm just saying. These are the people that we are dealing with in America. America racism. Even if a person don't even think that they're racist, they're racist. Even in thought. You know, you have Caucasian people talking about, let's not go back to the past. Well, it was the past that made the present. I'm just saying. It's the past that made the present. But I don't blame white people for black people problems right now, because it's the age of information. And with all of the people that we have come forward, that has come forward for us in regards to information. But they seem to kill them all off. And it was done by the FBI and the CIA. Stop me when I'm lying. White supremacy, you all. Racism in America. I'm just saying. If you want to know how your friend thinks that is a Caucasian, talk to him about this here. And if they can't find no fault in the actions of white people in the past that has led to the present point, you know where they stand. I'm just saying. Think about that. That's insane. Don't argue with Mo. Argue with history. I'm in a white person's home right now. They say they're not racist. I'm here, right? Doing it live. But black people are racist against their own selves. They pull each other down like crabs in a barrel. Sad to say, but true. In fact about it, this is what was the cause of enslavement for black people with the Caucasian. Sad, but true. White people afraid of black people? If I was a racist white person, I would fear black people. Because all of the mistreatment, the misdeeds that has been done to them by someone who has that frame of mind. Yeah, I would be scared too. I would be trying to befriend them, going to their churches, marrying their women. Because I'm the number one enemy in their eyes. And it's a shame that some people don't recognize that. Even the animals know that they have a natural enemy. But it's not because of what they look like, it's because of their mindset. If you are a positive person, why would you want to have a continuous relationship with someone that's negative? Does it make any sense? Even have a friendship with them, you know what I'm saying? You all are not on the same frame of thought. But in that, you have some people that's still straddling. They don't understand because they haven't did much research. And some people live in a bubble. They don't go outside the atmosphere. They don't read the newspapers. They don't watch TV. But they do watch YouTube. Just certain sections of YouTube. I'm just saying. But anyway, you all, we're going to get out of here. I think we said enough for a TONIGHT in regards to racism in America. It is what it is, you all. Caitlin Clark, she's got talent. Has nothing to do with color. She's got talent. Did black people hate on Dr. J? Did black people hate on Michael Jordan? Did black people hate on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Don't hate on that white girl. That's like hating on Larry Bird. She's the Larry Bird of the WNBA. Racism in America, whether you like it or not. That's what it is. Knowledge of self is important. And if you have knowledge of self, you don't have to worry about who's for you or against you because you know where you stand. And can't nobody tell you any different if you've done your research. You just can't pop shit out your mouth, not with me. And not give me no information. Nah. Not happening. What do you think? Leave your comments in the comment section, you all. We got some other things to do tonight. It's a frigga night. It's a frigga night, you all. On MOPOWERZ here on YOUTUBE. Leave your comments in the comment section, and on your way out the door, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and the word R to help ensure that you get notifications when I upload videos on YOUTUBE. Also, press those condiments to like and to share. Share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your conversation on racism in America. Caitlin Clark. That's important. Aja Wilson. Sheila Johnson. Pope Nicholas V. 1452 and 1455, which is 100 years prior to what Elijah Muhammad gave us, which was 1555. I'm just saying. Leave your comments in the comment section. Go to my other channels if you haven't been. If you want to get those audio book series, go over there to this channel right here. MOPOWERZ. My main channel, THEMOSHOW Chicago, because we got that smoke over there, not this smoke, but that smoke over there. With the likes of John Henry Clark, with the likes of Louis Farrakhan, with the likes of Dr. Joy, Guru Leary, with the likes of Ben Johakkinen, with the likes of, yeah, man! Bobby Hemmett. Bobby Hemmett is a beast. If y'all not up on Bobby Hemmett, go check out Bobby Hemmett. I'm just saying, we got that smoke on my main channel, THEMOSHOW Chicago. If you're into entertainment, go to the other channel, THEMOSHOW Classics with an S, all one word, no space, here on YOUTUBE. And do the same thing, like, share, and subscribe. Peace out, you all. We out here. Got something to do. Thanks for viewing, because you could have been doing something else. But you're here on MOPOWERZ. Thanks for viewing. Peace out. Never give up on your DREAMS.